play right, cause they can't miss. All about the game, that's a cold switch. Serving up the truth, call it ruthless. Tune in and get your fix from Blake and Vish Sports.
Other first-round quarterback, and that's the first-round quarterback from our hometown, the city of Chicago. Justin Fields, 11th overall pick in the draft. I think it's unfortunate that we need to have this conversation after the preseason we just saw him have. But for whatever reason, Andy Dalton is starting. So I guess we need to have this conversation. But Blake, tell us why Justin Fields should be starting week 1.
Sure. And I kind of want to say first why I think Dalton is starting week 1. And it's more speculative than anything, but I think I want to get your thoughts on it. So when they originally signed him, they kind of named Dalton the starter. When going into the draft, I don't think that the Bears thought Fields would fall to 11. I don't think the Bears thought that they would have the chance to get him. They kind of touted, we have Dalton, he's starting for us. Locker room got behind him. Next thing you know, you get Fields, who we thought would go number 3 or top 5 at worst, and now he's on the Bears. They traded up to get him. So I'm thinking it has to do either with the locker room or something with the front office, and that they just want him to start. Because I think by all accounts, Fields looks ready. What more does he need to show? Throwing on the run, outside of the pocket, throwing in the pocket. I think he's looked phenomenal at all 3 of those areas. So I guess, what are your thoughts, or why do you think they have Dalton starting? Because I can't wrap my mind around this.
Yeah, I have no clue, but I think also they named him QB1, and I think they told him, they might have promised him that you're going to at least start this season, and they might be sticking with that, because I don't know what he offers that Justin Fields doesn't. And they don't have a good offense. They don't have a good scheme, in my opinion. Matt Nagy doesn't do a lot for his quarterbacks. I mean, we saw what he did for Mitchell Trubisky. The best stretch of Mitchell Trubisky's career was being called by Bill Lazor, and they ran a version of the McVay offense, a lot of boots, heavy play action, using outside zone, and Mitchell Trubisky more or less excelled in that offense. He played like a legitimate starting quarterback, and to me, Justin Fields has been dynamic. He's been athletic. He's been accurate. He's been consistent with his decision-making. He maybe moves out of the pocket a tad too quick for my liking at times, but more or less he makes enough plays for their offense, especially given that their offense itself doesn't have a lot of things, even in the preseason. But we've seen his offense in the regular season. It doesn't create a lot of space for other players. I mean, the best version of Matt Nagy's quote-unquote genius offense was 2018, when Vic Fangio would create turnover after turnover. They would get the ball at the 20, and he would have one trick play up his sleeve that would involve Tariq Cohen getting the ball 3 times behind the line of scrimmage before eventually somehow advancing the ball. But there's no consistent bread and butter to their offense of what they do. The run game is very vanilla. They've never had been able to run the football consistently with Matt Nagy. And so, to me, Justin Fields should just start, because Justin Fields just continues to he's just a playmaker. He's going to make plays even if the offense doesn't have anything there. He's going to be able to push the ball down the field. He's just a very, very talented player, and I think he raises the ceiling of that offense with his explosiveness, and his throwing ability, and we've seen that already in this preseason itself, in the little we've seen him. I mean, the touchdown pass he threw against who did they play? Philadelphia?
I forget. It was the 3rd game, though. It was the 3rd preseason.
Yeah, I'm just blanking for whatever reason. I'm sorry, but the touchdown pass he threw to number 87 was ridiculous. Rolling out to his right, on his back shoulder.
Titans, yeah.
Titans. Yes. For whatever reason, I thought Philadelphia. Ridiculous throw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess my main point that I keep going back to, I agree with the playmaker stuff. And just to expand on that, we've kind of talked about why the Bears quarterbacks were struggling in the past and what were some of the traits they had. Well, we go to Mike Glennon. Well, he wasn't mobile. Trubisky comes in, he's mobile. He's good outside of the pocket. That's where he's excelling best, when he's out and moving, not when he's forced to stay in the pocket. Nick Foles comes in. They have a little success, but overall, the issue remains that he's just a statue back there with not a good O-line in front of him. And Trubisky helped alleviate some of that because he was mobile, right? Now, so what's the point when you have Dalton, who's not mobile at all? Tevin Jenkins is going to be out for a significant portion of this season with his back injury. So your O-line could be weak again, and I want to say they cut Charles Leno. I could be wrong about that, or they got rid of another offensive lineman. I want to say it was Leno, but I guess the main point I'm trying to say here is that having a mobile quarterback is probably the best thing you can do to help slow down a pass rush because they can escape the pocket. You can't blitz them as much. And so Fields is probably already a top 5 running quarterback as it is right now. Before the season even starts, I would catapult him already up there from what we've seen in all of that. So, yeah, him being behind a weaker O-line, he'll be able to help slow down the pass rush and, escape it when it is there. So I think that's kind of the main advantage. And what has he not shown you that Andy Dalton has besides just being a veteran? Besides that, because there really is not anything.
I agree with that, and I think this is funny. Yeah, that Fields throw did have a lot of wobble, but the accuracy and precision was, excuse me, right there. And we have seen some of Lance's wobblers have had insane accuracy and precision as well. So I think that's important to say. But yeah, overall to me, Justin Fields 100%. It should be a no-brainer at this point. They're just delaying the inevitable, in my opinion. Before we